Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? Hello. Look at all those bright, shining faces in the chat today. Hopefully everyone can hear me all right. Glad to hear that sticker arrived, Daniel, and it's on your PlayStation controller. We love to hear that. Let me turn on one more light. 1 second. I'm pretty good. How are you, Patrick? One moment. Well, I realize in retrospect, I did not need to reach as far away for the light switch as I thought. Alright. Hello, hello. I actually, it's funny. It's a cool shirt. This Barbie draws on an Etch A Sketch. No, I forgot to turn on the overhead light. I didn't need the lights. It's brighter now. Okay, here we go. Where is the stylus? So yes, today I will be finishing up the Zubat, and Barbie is such heck yeah. I got this at a thrift store this weekend, or over the last week. So I'm finishing up the Zubat, and I frankly don't know what I'm gonna do next. I don't know what that emoji means, Patrick. Dehydrate? Well, I need to hydrate. Give it up for Barbies. Okay. Let's get to it, everybody. Working away on the Zubat background. I'm actually really excited to work on this piece today because it's methodical and I get to turn my brain off for a little bit while just working on the background. Serena. What's up, Serena? Nice to see you here. I like that this has officially become your greeting, is just saying Serena with no context. Oh, the Princess Etch lore is strange and unique. I saw that trailer. I posted a hot take. That I think a lot of the haters never saw 3 or 4. They've only seen 1 and 2, and now they're here with their pitchforks. How ironic is that for Shrek 5? I think that, like, as far as the looks of the characters, Fiona was the most different to me, but the rest, I wasn't bothered by it. It felt slight, but it wasn't really recognizable to me as like crazy different. I don't know. What do you all think of the new Shrek? Ah, we have an authority in the chat. I've seen Shrek 3. Now, I saw Shrek 3 in theaters. That makes me a high authority. Not only in theaters, but on a date in theaters. Truly an S-tier date movie for my high school years. Do not go see that movie on a date. It is not a good date movie. There was one scene I remembered in Shrek 3 that made me laugh, and I don't remember much else, and then I never saw Shrek 4. Definitely never saw Shrek 4D either. I don't even know what that is, actually. I feel like I've heard of it, but figured it was related to Shrek 4. I've read about the plot to Shrek 4. Is that when it came out? 2010? Wow. Gosh. I remember that Shrek 3, or Shrek the Third, that was either 2008 or 2009. Shrek 4D is a roller coaster. That makes sense. I feel like that's what I know of. Like, there used to be a ride at, do they still have it at Universal? I'm not sure. First one came out in 2001, 1 year after I was born. I saw the first one in theaters. I don't think I saw the second one, though. But I do recall seeing the first one in theaters in Canada. Don't know why I recall that it was in Canada, but every now and then, on rare occasion, I would go see the movies in Canada. Alright. Working away on the background. It's looking so so nice. I'm really happy with this. I want to start doing more just like original. I always say that. But I'm serious now. And I think it's because I've gotten to a point in my career where I'm ready to just throw it all away. It sounds very dramatic when I put it that way, but like, I'm so ready to just finally take the risks that I should have taken a long time ago and just start doing the things that I really want to be doing, you know? I want to finish this Dex. That's happening. But I want to make original stuff too. I want to do crazy, silly, out there things, you know? I want to change things up. I want to get off the groove that I've been in, and I want to make a new groove. Maybe not an Emperor's new groove, but like a princess's new groove, you know? You saw Shrek the Musical on Broadway in New York City with the original cast when you were single digits age? That's cool. Wow! What's up, Eva? Welcome. Thoughts on Shrek's daughter? I think it's really funny that it's being voiced by Zendaya because it feels like, of course, like that just like makes perfect sense to me. I think it's gonna be fine. That's my opinion. I think it's probably gonna be watched much more than the fourth or the third ones. I think it's going to be a box office success despite all the crap it's getting. Start a Schubert. No. Start a Schubert. Still gonna see it. Yeah, I watched like the first few minutes of the Shrek musical on Disney Plus around a year ago with Kyle, and we didn't get into it, but we also very fondly remember Shrek the movie and recognized very quickly that the musical was not like the movie. And then we were like, why don't we just watch the movie? And so we didn't do the musical. The poor musical deserved more love from us, I'm sure, but alas. All right. I've got a lot of shading to still do. What is a movie that you all have seen recently that you really enjoyed? Because Kyle and I, when my friend Grace was visiting, we watched The Gorge, and it was so good. Sorry, I'm distracted trying to clean my water bottle. Ugh. I need a tissue. I don't have one. I'm gonna wipe this on the seat. That's not a good idea. Oh yeah, the Mario movie did really well at the box office too. I saw that one. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was. I think people have beef with Illumination because they associate it with Minions. There we go. They associate it with Minions and they don't want things Minion-fied. The people coming after Shrek being like, we gotta give it the Sonic treatment and bully them? No. That is way over dramatic. This movie isn't anything like when they first revealed the Sonic trailer. Nothing like it. Oh, I remember, I've never seen that Lorax movie, but I know someone who did very well on YouTube cosplaying the Onceler back in the day on YouTube. So I know of the Onceler, and that's a Lorax thing. It's possible I saw that movie a long time ago. Give them the Detective Pikachu treatment. Oh, the Pokemon were so scary in that movie. I wish that they looked cuter, but it is very cool to see an artist that I had seen on DeviantArt before get incredibly successful with it, you know? What's up, Legend? Nice to see you here. Doing some shading of the Zubat right now. But if you all like romance, action, thriller, horror-esque movies, I recommend The Gorge. It's got Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller. Those of you who really know me, who really know my Princess Edge journey, you know that I love Miles Teller because he played an Etch A Sketch artist in a movie. So, he gets high praise. That would be a very interesting, is it Letterboxd isn't Letterboxd a platform where you could like put movies into hyper-specific lists? I feel like that could be a really interesting Letterboxd list, is like movies that feature Etch A Sketch. I bet someone out there, well, I don't know actually. I don't know if someone out there would have made a list for that. But I can think of like 4 movies off the top of my head that feature Etch A Sketch. Well, yeah. There's Spiderhead, there's Elf, there's Toy Story 1, and I think Toy Story 2's got Etch in it. Yes, Toy Story 1 and 2. I don't actually think that Etch makes an appearance in 3. There is a line where Andy's mom... Yeah, there's definitely a scene in Toy Story 2 because it's the Chicken Man. But in Toy Story 3, Andy's mom, I believe it's her that mentions that Etch was donated. So I don't think that we've got any more of Etch. But I need to rewatch Toy Story 3. I know he wasn't in 4. Or is there a 5 now? No, 4's the one with Forky, right? Yeah. 4's the one with Forky, isn't it? There's a song in the movie that's beautiful, though, that I have on my song playlist, and it's by Randy Newman. And I realized that Randy Newman did the... he did the soundtrack for another movie that has a very similar song. If you've ever seen the movie Awakenings, major tearjerker. I've brought it up before. It's a Robin Williams movie from like the late 80s, I think. Robin Williams, Robert De Niro. Oh, be prepared with a box of tissues for that movie, man. Anyways, Randy Newman had a song, Dexter's Tune, which very much reminded me of like one of the big themes in Toy Story 4, and it was like really amazing to realize that connection. Like, this sounds like something I've heard, and then to find out it was the same composer, like that's so cool. Like, you can recognize different art pieces from the same artist because of their style, and the same could be said for music. Like, that's so cool. Forky mentioned. No, Forky, no. Toy Story always gave you the creeps. You never liked it as a child. Still not a fan. It is a pretty unsettling premise, admittedly. I don't know if everyone remembers that brief era in YouTube where people would recut movie trailers as different genres. Like, there's a movie trailer for Mary Poppins, but it's a horror movie. Or a movie trailer for Harry Potter 6, but it's a teen comedy. And, anyways, I feel like you could recut Toy Story to be a horror movie very easily. Like, especially in the first movie when they all come out of the ground like zombies. Especially because that animation was kind of Uncanny Valley, because it still had a lot of development, you know? Oh, yeah. What age was I when I got my first Etch A Sketch? I was around 4. Oh, the list is crud. Ha! Well, at least you can add Spiderhead to the list, yeah. I know there are other movies that have Etch A Sketch in them. I think there's like an Amityville horror movie. I remember a few years ago on eBay, somebody was trying to sell the movie prop that was used for it. And I think Amityville horror is like a... It is a... Oh, I just thought of another movie with an Etch A Sketch in it. But there's 2 movies I just thought of. Amityville horror, it was a fake drawing, and they were trying to sell it for $400, and it didn't move for a really long time, but I never saw the movie, so I didn't want to buy it. But I think that's a movie and not a, like, TV show. Maybe it's a TV show. So there are 2 movies that came to the top of my head. Jingle All the Way has an Etch A Sketch, a guy dressed like an Etch A Sketch at the, like, Thanksgiving parade. And then I believe in the movie Big, there is an Etch A Sketch on the shelf. Does the Etch A Sketch play a part in the narration of the film? No, but there are Etch A Sketches. Am I taking requests today? I think I could take one request. Yeah, I don't know when I went live. When did I start going live? Does anyone know? I could take a request today. What do you got in mind? After I finish up this Zubat. I was young. Yep, I was young. I was around 4. You guys 7 or 8? That's still a great age to start. Nothing wrong with starting that old. In fact, most of my early stuff wasn't good at all because I was so young, so. Do I know any shows that had Etch A Sketch in it? Yeah, actually, funny enough, there's an episode of Abbott Elementary that just had an Etch A Sketch in it. Did anybody? I don't know if anybody watches Abbott Elementary, but that had an Etch A Sketch in it recently. There is an episode. It is an honor, Michael. It is an honor. Thank you for that super chat. I will be happy to do that, Mr. Mime, next. That, oh my gosh. What am I doing? I'm doing a Zubat. So, Stranger Things, and I was just talking to my friend about this as well. Stranger Things season either 2 or 3. It was at the arcade, so I'm leaning toward 2, but I could be wrong. Had an Etch A Sketch in it. It was a background prop, and it is anachronistic. That means that it was not from the correct historical era. It would not have been that hard for the props department to obtain an Etch A Sketch from the 80s. eBay is riddled with Etch A Sketches from all eras. It would have been delightfully easy for them to DM an Etch A Sketch artist and ask them if they knew which era, you know, corresponded to which Etch A Sketch. But instead, they used an Etch A Sketch circa the 2010s, which is probably one they bought off a store shelf on location, basically. So, I'm mad about that. They could have gone right with it. They could have sold it more. But it was a background prop. They didn't care enough. It would have cost them an extra $20. They would have had to wait for it to ship to them. But they could have gotten one, like, new in box from the 80s for, like, $40, you know? And it ended up costing them, like, $15 for the one new in box in the 2010s, you know? Thanks, Rexo. I appreciate that. Working away on this here Zubat. Making good progress. And next up is going to be the Detective Pikachu Mr. Mime. That will be a very interesting one. Let's talk about something crazy you all did lately. Does anybody have a fun story of something crazy they recently did? I bought 2 lamps. That's what I recently did. It's me just being crazy. Known for my crazy tactics. Ooh. Oh, you're calling me greedy. I want to know why you're calling me greedy. Explain. I want to know so badly. Oh, I ask for money and that's what makes me greedy. I knew that's what it was gonna be. Thanks for clarifying. I guess asking for money inherently makes you greedy. I'm an artist. I should be a starving artist. I should starve for my craft. I'm not supposed to enjoy. I'm not supposed to enjoy what I do. Because why would that be of any interest to people watching? No, I should be miserable. I should do everything for free all the time. And just constantly give of myself every day so that I have nothing. Because that will keep my stream sustainable. That will allow me to keep streaming for a live audience. Thanks for that suggestion. I really appreciate it. I'll consider that. Hey audience, do you also like starving? Do you like not being able to pay for things? Do you like going to work and making no money? You speak Spanish? That's cool. Yo puedo hablar español también, un poco. Yeah, how dare I? No, it's always the people who get mad at me having, like, you know, basic requirements and boundaries. The trash likes to take itself out, everybody. It's very convenient. It's your original language. That's cool. That's what's so confusing, Michael. That's why I had to ask. I had to ask more. I don't even have the screen that shows the pricing or anything. I think it just showed the super chat and then they inferenced that you paid for a request. You have the same Etch A Sketch I did? That's cool. Isn't it a fun Etch A Sketch? You're too poor to afford one. Well, the good news is that they're pretty affordable depending where you live. They're a little less affordable if you're not in the US. But these are around $6 in the US, so excellent gift to ask for a birthday or Christmas. And hey, I know $6 is a lot more to some than others. Hiccup. But as far as toys go, that's on the lower end of the spectrum of the cost, you know? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you asked that if you could pay. That's funny. Not the other way. It broke? Don't ask how. Well, Isaiah, I have to know now. What did you do to it? What did you do to this Etch A Sketch? Hello, Nicholas. If there is anything that you are interested in saying to me regarding my Discord message, you are always welcome to DM me, but commenting during my live stream may not be the best move, only because I'm on the spot in front of a live audience. You made a list with Etch movies? You only got 6 on the list so far? JATW. Well, that's very kind of you, Nicholas. I appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. So, to Ravenna, if you're ever interested in learning how to draw an Etch A Sketch, I encourage you to check out my tutorials. I do have a bunch of free tutorials available here on YouTube. Jingle, oh, JATW, jingle all the way. That's amazing, Haziel. That's very impressive. English is a lot harder to learn, from my experience, than Spanish. One of the things that I really loved about learning Spanish in high school was how there are very specific rules that are rarely broken, and I really appreciate that. English, on the other hand, breaks all kinds of rules, so kudos to you for learning English. Haven't watched since you were 6? Which movie? You put a... Alright. Well, I don't check the Discord during my streams, but after the stream, I'll check out the Discord. By the way, if anybody is interested in joining the Discord, you're always welcome to do so. We are finally wrapping up this Zubat, everybody. It has been a long time coming. We started this early last stream, so it feels very exciting to get near the end. Now, once I finish up the background, I'm going to be outlining the entire perimeter because you can see how it got a little bit fuzzy, right? And I want to clean that up. I want to make the bat pop. What happened, Isaiah? How did you break your Etch A Sketch? We're going where we don't need no stinking rules. That just made me think of Back to the Future. Where we're going, we don't need rules. Basically same thing. I'll have to think about that, Patrick. Other movies with Etch A Sketch in it. I'm gonna have to really think about it. Welcome to everyone joining in, by the way. We've got a lovely audience tuning in today. 15 people have tapped that screen so far, so thank you everybody for your lovely support. This is a Pokemon. This is true. Can you name which Pokemon? It was more your cousin who threw it off. Off of what? Off of what, Isaiah? You're correct, Bobby. Fun fact, my first Crobat was named Goldie because in Gen 3, I wanted to get a Crobat, and you have to do so by leveling up your Golbat with friendship. What's up, Fumble? It's been a minute. Nice to see you here. Thank you for that lovely super chat. Your support is so appreciated. Thank you. Here, I'll throw a little. Do I have it on here still? There it is. Hey, thank you. Much appreciated. I do not sell Etch A Sketch, but I do have an Amazon storefront. Frida, thank you so much for that sweet. Another thanks to Frida. Women are so talented, aren't they? I have a hair in my mouth, so I'm going to apologize in advance. I got it. Where's the tissue? Alright. But anyways, back to my Golbat story. Thank you, Frida. You want to give an Etch A Sketch to your niece? So exclamation point Amazon, I think, is a link to the Amazon storefront as well, if you were to purchase. Oh, Frida has secret talents. Women really are so talented, aren't they? So I named my Golbat Goldie because I erroneously thought that nicknaming your Pokemon would level up its friendship, because I thought if you nickname your Pokemon, it shows you love them, right? Like, the logic seemed sound, but it turns out that naming your Pokemon has, like, no bearing on that. But my Golbat evolved into Crobat eventually, and I kept the name because it felt disingenuous to rename my Golbat after naming it Goldie. Like, it felt like disrespectful to rename a Pokemon. So that is how my first ever Crobat is named Goldie. Goldie the Crobat. Give it up for the give it up for emoji. One of your snail's name was Goldie? Did it evolve into a Crobat, Serena? Give it up for marriage. That's what's up. Also, congrats on 9 months, Toby. Nice to see you here, by the way. I hope all is well, Toby. I hope you've been doing good. I feel like it's been a minute. I mean, it's been a minute for me, too, with my streams, but it's nice to see you here. She was a yellow snail. Aw. Alright, now I'm going to finally do the thing where things are going to, like, pop more. Everything looks fuzzy right now, so what I need to do is clean up the line work. This is where, like, the magic is going to come forward. Thank you, Butter. I appreciate that immensely. You saw what it looked like. It did not look like a gold bat, Bobby. Hey, thanks, Patrick, for reminding people to engage with the stream and the proper metrics. Yes, if you enjoy the stream, it always means a lot when you consider liking it. Alright. And doing the crown. So that's my signature. Look at mighty spiff. Now we're going to finally... You could really see the crosshairs of this Etch A Sketch. Is Shiny Golbat yellow? Unfortunately not. It's like a pink from my recollection. Maybe that's Crobat. No, it's green. Shiny Golbat is green, and then it turns pink when it evolves into Crobat. I've actually done Gengar before. If you just go to YouTube and look up Gengar Etch A Sketch, I think you'll find my video. Okay. I'm gonna, like, angle down a bit, because it's easier for me. The lights are shining on it, and it's easier for me to look here. Yeah, this is better. There we go. And you don't get that pesky reflection in the screen like before, theoretically. Oh, yeah. See how it's already popping, like, way more? It's hard to tell, but... I did do Gengar! That's true. One of the few times I actually took a suggestion from the YouTube chat that was completely off base and unexpected. Oh, Gengar. I've got to do something with that Gengar at some point. Cause, oh, he bussin'. Look at me. Dropping lingo. I'm a cool kid. Gengar lives forever in our hearts. Speaking, oh, Toby, I do need to keep working on your commission. I did not forget, I promise you there. Hey, we do have the Element K emote here. Wait. I think I've caught up with the chat. There's more than one way to like? Well, well, well. I guess that's true. I don't know if you can like more than once, though. So, oh, well, I did have that. There we go. Cleaning up. And look at how much more crisp this wing is going to look. Wait, the song is starting again? Hey. I had to switch the song. I should not have switched the song in the middle of working on this wing. You can see the white speck of the stylus right there. You see it, everyone? Alright. I rarely do black backgrounds, and this is actually one of the reasons why. Because... there we go. It takes a lot of extra effort to scooch the powder around. And... finishing up the wing. Sometimes I will tap the screen to try to get the aluminum on the stylus to fall into the Etch A Sketch more. Sometimes it kind of gets gunked up. Whew! That required hyper focus there. Oh, it looks so much more crisp now, though. It was worth it. You wish you were- this was Twitch, you would have clipped that. What did I say or do? What did I do? What did I do that was clip worthy? Oh no. How do I do the mouth because the drawing thing can't go off? Good question! Yes, yes, thank you Michael for answering. Oh, bussin'? Oh. Oh yeah. As soon as I said that, I thought to myself, who am I? Who even am I? Okay. And doing a little clean up work here. Drawing the ear. Oh, we are finally at the finish line on this Zubat, everybody. Next up is the terrifying Mr. Mime from Detective Pikachu. So if you like terrifying Mr. Mimes, you are in for a treat. Okay, and I'm gonna actually push that away like that. Oh yeah, that is clean. Whew. Let's see if I can give you all different angles so you can see what it looks like without all the, like, busy stuff in the background. Ah. Well, there we go. That's pretty clean. There we go. Oh, yeah. That looks really neat. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, Butter. You missed the oh, yeah. Everyone gets one, and I gave my one OEA. Alright, setting this one aside. I think this is Dex worthy, everybody. This one probably took around an hour. Maybe even longer. The Pokedex is a labor of love, everyone. Okay, I actually have a pink Etch A Sketch, so I'm just gonna use that. Next up is the terrifying Mr. Mime. From Detective Pikachu. Oh. Heck yeah. Oh, this thing is so scary. Oh, the Mr. Mime won't haunt you, everyone. I'm gonna draw this one because his face is so terrifying. Okay, I found the perfect image. We're gonna switch to this screen, and then we're gonna hide the gift options. I feel like this one is a pretty accurate choice. A Mr. Mime miming riding a motorcycle. This will be the next subject matter, everyone. There we go. Trying to center it vaguely. What's up, Brandon? Nice to see you here. Oh, so glad to see so many people showing up today. Gengyat is alive. Gengyat is still with us. More than in our minds and in our hearts. So this is the Mr. Mime I will be Etch A Sketching today. Now this one isn't as long as it takes commission, so we're gonna just hang out on this screen. And let's grab the image that I need to use on my end. Make it a little bit bigger. Bingo. Frida, this image doesn't sell you on Detective Pikachu? How have you been, Brandon? Toby, I also am overdue for another like resume look-see at some point. If you're interested in that stream, I would be down to do that. It's true. The trifecta of women are talented. I think that's the third highlighted message. Thank you, Brandon. You know, I'm doing good today. I'm doing good. I've been doing a lot of soul searching, everyone. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I know I could elaborate, but I'm not gonna. Just doing good, you know? Okay, we're gonna start up here for I don't know why it feels right to say this, but the wicked Mr. Mime. Do you think that Mr. Mime identifies as he, him? Because I don't know if Mr. Mime identifies as he, him. I do sometimes. I usually only frame the ones for people who buy them because the frames are expensive. But I do have some framed prints of some faves that I no longer have, that I've sold off to people for commissions and all that good stuff. Pieces I wish I still had. Some work I'm really proud of is in the work of other people's hands. I think I have it already, Toby. I think you're good. A while back you sent the update, so I think it's on me at this point. An NB King, yeah. Identifies as Mr. Mime. There we go. That's a good sphere right there. That's a master level sphere. And the first ear. So Detective Pikachu, can we get a show of hands of how many people saw that one in theaters? Because I saw it in theaters. It's one of the last movies I remember seeing before COVID. I didn't see a lot of movies. I remember seeing that movie and the Aladdin movie around that time. Doesn't it look cursed? It is. Whoa, thanks everybody for getting us past 25 likes. Hey, we got a hand in the chat. Glad to see I wasn't the only one who saw it. I think it was really good on IMAX. That's cool. I had a good time watching it. I had a good time. I think it's a worthwhile watch. It's a fun movie. It's fun. It's world building, right? You're seeing the universe of Pokemon in live action, and that in itself makes it worth the watch. When I went to Japan I've only been to Japan twice, so I can't. It would have been 2019. When I went to Japan in 2019, they were doing a lot of promotion for Detective Pikachu, and they had a giant cardboard poster that had a furry Pikachu. And I've got a picture of me, like you could pet the Pikachu on the poster. It was very soft. Highly recommend. If you find yourself in Japan in 2019, find the Detective Pikachu posters and pet them. And then I remember very distinctly getting home that night from Tokyo. It was a long, long, long day of flights because we flew back to Los Angeles, and then Kyle and I had a layover, and it was like a 3-hour layover. Live action How to Train Your Dragon. That one, I feel like I saw the dragon, and he looked a lot like the dragon in the movie. So I'm very curious to see what that's going to look more like as time passes. But I remember we had a layover in Los Angeles, and it was like a 3 or 4 hour layover. It was a while. Kyle and I actually left the airport for a while. Now this Etch A Sketch has thicker lines, so hopefully it doesn't look too far off from the original reference photo. And yes, well, it was 2019. So 2016, I did go to Japan, and that was, I think it was before. No, it was definitely after Pokemon Go came out, because it was the fall of 2016. But I distinctly remember getting home pretty late at night in Chicago, being incredibly jet lagged, and walking to my local 7-Eleven at like 2 in the morning in Chicago. It was a 24-hour 7-Eleven. Back when things used to be 24 hours. Remember that? Pre-2020, when things were 24 hours. And I remember, if you've ever been to Japan or you know anything about Japan's 7-Elevens, then you know that they're amazing, right? I know, Tootie. Nice to see you here, by the way. Hope all is well. But I went to the American 7-Eleven after I got back from Tokyo. First off, incredibly underwhelming experience. The 7-Elevens in Japan are incredible and amazing. They can be multi-story. They are huge and awesome and beautiful, and they have really good food. And then I found myself at 2 in the morning, like, scrounging for dinner at an American 7-Eleven, which is a major downgrade. There was certainly no onigiri in sight, I'll tell you what. But it was funny because they had Detective Pikachu merch at both 7-Elevens, and it was very kind of like a nice little bridge moment where I was shopping at 7-Eleven just scrounging for something to eat. And then I saw, lo and behold, more Detective Pikachu merch, but this merch was in English, and I just thought, wow, there was like such better merch in Japan. The Movie Pass. I've heard of the wonder and joy of Movie Pass. I never watched movies enough to want to do like a frequent flyer program for movies, you know? Oh, he unhinged. Thank you again, Michael, for commissioning this bad boy here. It was great for like 3 months. You prefer Indigo League over any other versions of Pokemon. That's fair, Bobby. For a lot of things, the OG is best. That's how I feel about Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually. I recently watched Season 0 with Kyle. We just completed it. Thank you, thank you. It was incredible. Highly recommend. If you like Yu-Gi-Oh!, I think everybody who enjoys Yu-Gi-Oh! Should be required by law to watch Season 0, because it is so different. In the best way, it's so unhinged, and it makes so much more sense. I now understand what the heart of the cards means. It's not just a weird phrase. It actually has context. Season 0 explains what the heart of the cards means. It's amazing. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's fun. I just bought the Memories Collection game. Highly recommend. It's all on YouTube as well. YouTube, original Japanese. They never dubbed it in English, but it's got the English subs. Highly recommend. It was such a good time. I really, like, Kyle and I genuinely had a blast watching it. It was so much fun. Same with Beyblades. Now, I never really watched the anime, although I do to this day quote Let It Rip, because when you're 7 years old or whatever, I was like 12 when it came out, that's the funniest catchphrase to ever exist. And I did play Beyblades. I had the token friend who had all the Beyblades. She could make a pure metal Beyblade with all the Beyblades she has that has the one metal piece. I had one, and I don't remember its name, but it wasn't a really cool one. I thought it was cool. It was orange, and you could, like, wind it up, and it had a special feature that no other Beyblade had, where it had a little spring-loaded, like, pogo stick, and it would, like, jump once. And no other Beyblade had that. Can anyone help me identify that Beyblade? Do we have any Beyblade connoisseurs in the chat who know which Beyblade I'm talking about? Because I thought it was super cool, but then when you employed it, it was not nearly as cool as you thought. Like, I thought it would give me an advantage, like playing Miss Pac-Man over Pac-Man, where you could jump over the ghosts. Not the same. The best defense is a good defense is the line that stuck with you for the Beyblade show. Is that like from like Beyblade? It's like / Beyblade / Wayne Gretzky / Michael Scott. You have that one, Bobby Young? If you look it up, someone's got to share a picture on the Discord. I need to know if my recollection is correct. I believe it's orange, and I know that it was unique and that it had like a little spring thing. And it was an official Beyblade. I don't think there were knockoff Beyblades back then, but like this was the real deal, you know? It was a cool Beyblade. But I had a friend who not only had like all the Beyblades, but she also had multiple Beyblade arenas. She was an only child, right? That's my recommendation. If you're the youngest of 5 like I was, do yourself a solid and befriend only children. They get really cool toys and you get to play with them. Downside, you will forever resent them because they have cooler toys than you. It's hard. It's hard out there. It's rough out there, kids. But you either get to resent the friend for having the cool Beyblades, or you don't get to play with any Beyblades. Life hack, baby. Okay. We're drawing the second arm. It's called Trigal. That sounds like a prototype for triangle, and I kind of love it. If someone could share a picture of Trigal on the Discord, I'll have to check it out after the stream to confirm. What's up, Evelyn? I'm doing solid. How are you? So Lachlan, I'm not taking requests right now. I'm working on a commission drawing at this moment. But I don't know if I'm gonna want to take on another commission next. You know what? I will say the only... Look at me. This is me capitalizing on an opportunity, okay? I'm shameless. I gotta promote, right? ABP, always be promoting. There is the YouTube gifts feature. It's a little button that looks like this. Right there. Look at me showcasing it. It's a little gift box, and if you click on it, and I know it's blurry, if I get the laughing disco, that's 250. There we go. I'll do a request. I'll do a short request for that. That's all I'm taking right now. Hey! Hey! Thank you, Michael. I saw it on the screen. Hey! Alas, I get that, Lachlan. It is available only in the US at this time, so thank you so much for indulging me, Michael, with the laughing disco. Lachlan is in Australia. I forgot about that. You had a battle in music. You shattered your mates into literal pieces? Yours was a small plastic black dragoon, and his was a Cho-Z Achilles. I remember one name, and it's Drasil. That was the name of one of the Beyblades, right? Drasil? But when you said Dragoon, that just brain blasted me back in the past. Aw, that's sweet of you, Michael. Lachlan, let me know what you'd like me to etch. It'll be a quick request. This one's going to be a longer one, but I'm happy to etch something for you. Every platform's allergic. What's up, Mr. Andre? What's up? Nice to see you here. Right now, we're talking about Beyblades. I wouldn't mind popping on an episode of Beyblade. Kyle was watching Beyblade the other day. I came downstairs, and lo and behold, there was just Beyblade on the TV. And I'm like, I love this man. I love this man I chose to marry. I picked the right one, you guys. Oh, that's so cute. I'd be happy to draw a cockatiel for you, Lachlan. You got an Oreo and one of the cookies were upside down. It felt weird. I've had that happen now and then, and it does feel weird. It feels like, is this safe to consume? Suddenly it has you second guessing everything you've ever eaten in life. Aww. How are you doing, Tootie? Crazy news about King Dakar, huh? I'm so glad you got that final write-in. I'll never cross it off my list, but I'll be real with you. I always had a bit of a chip on my shoulder about King Dakar because it had to show up Top Thrill Dragster, which is my #1 bae, you know? So crazy about King Dakar. I can't believe it. They just decided to demolish it? You'd think they would have at least just kept it as like a pretty tower or something. I don't know. It's a literal landmark. I'm so glad you got it. If I would have known, would I have joined? Probably not, because it was your trip and it would have been logistically complex to do so. I think that we had to go do things too. Like Grace had a thing she was going to be doing. I'm so glad that the three of us got to get together finally. You got detention because a piece flew and hit your teacher. Oh no. I haven't heard that in years. I'm just dropping all kinds of weird lingo today, aren't I? We got bussin'. A bussin' bay. Am I right? Am I right, chat? For what you understand, the drop tower needed major work and the estimate was so much. That makes complete sense. That I know that those coasters were just big old money pits. So it's a real shame. That's an Intamin, right? Yep. Almost 20 years. Wow. I remember being so miffed when it came out. I was so mad on behalf of Cedar Point, as though, like, it was that special teenage angst that you could only feel as, like, a 13-year-old child feeling angry on behalf of a company that you're, like, a big fan of. Like, I was such a Cedar Point stan, and I couldn't believe the disrespect that Six Flags just dropped on it, you know? I haven't put it up. It's been rolled up for over a decade. It needs to be flattened. But, like, I still have my Top Thrill Dragster poster, and it will be making an appearance in my house at some point. You got your associate certificate a couple days ago? Congratulations. That's amazing. What an accomplishment. That's got to feel pretty good, getting to the end of that finish line there. Yay. What if TTD2 reopens? It'll be the tallest and fastest in the country again. Wow. That's crazy, because, I mean, they even made it slower now. Job searching is... I hear you there. I hear you there, Serena. I heard rumors, and it's all completely unsubstantiated. It was probably, as the Cedar Point groups like to joke, it was probably news from the Dippin' Dots guy, right? But word on the street is, the Dippin' Dots guy says that, TT2 is supposed to reopen on, like, opening day. But, like, it's so easy to see that. You hear about the fabled Dippin' Dots guy. Yeah, they're the font of resource. You know, I once, fun fact, you know, it's not a terrible price for the Etch A Sketch that I'm using, $9 Australian. It's worth it. I'd say it's worth that price. That's roughly like $6 USD. Yes, please do watch the tutorials. I think you'll gain a lot from them. But I remember giving some hot goss to a news reporter So, this is, I don't know, if you live in Chicago, you might be familiar with Marcus Leshock. I think he still does, like, for Chicago, he's the WGN news anchor that they send out to do the roller coasters and stuff. And he's a roller coaster enthusiast. And he interviewed me back in 2014 for Etch A Sketch, to do a little feature about me around the holidays. And it was amazing. So Marcus Leshock, I had a chance to meet him. He interviewed me, really nice guy. Kind of looked a little like my physics teacher that I had a crush on in high school. Looked a lot. I was a little bit. He was looking good. That's all I'm gonna say, okay? Anyways. So, I decided, you know, we were talking about, you know, there was like time between filming where we were just chatting and stuff. And I was like, dude, I got some really sick gossip to give you about Cedar Point, because, like, you know, I'm a credible resource. 4 years ago, I worked there. And I could tell that he took everything I said with a giant grain of salt, but I have proof, everyone. Proof that my friend was possibly, okay, I don't have proof, but I was there that this, I personally know the person who might be responsible for sinking the boat and causing a multi-month delay for the Shoot the Rapids ride at Cedar Point. I was there the night it happened. I was friends with the person. I witnessed it occurring, okay? I'm here today to tell my story, okay? This man, this guy, okay. Shoot the Rapids, also known colloquially to all Cedar Point employees that summer as Shoot the Budget, was a water roller coaster that nobody asked for at Cedar Point. No one goes to Cedar Point for the water coasters. Repeat after me. Nobody goes to Cedar Point for the water coasters. So we all called it Shoot the Budget. Nobody wanted this ride, but I had the supreme misfortune of being an employee the year that was the ride that debuted. Like, no, I couldn't get a cool coaster like Valraven or Gatekeeper. No, I got to work there the year Shoot the Budget opened. So, thank you. Thank you for repeating after me. I appreciate it, Matthew. No, Michael, no. Thank you, everyone. So, okay, bear with me. So, Shoot the Budget is set to have a soft open. Like, it's already delayed. It was supposed to open opening day, but, you know, time had passed, whatever. So, I actually have done Blue Eyes White Dragon. Search Blue Eyes White Dragon Etch A Sketch, and I think you'll be pleased. I'm very proud of that drawing. So, okay, I'm going to finish the story, and it's probably going to require me to pause drawing for a sec. I feel like he's totally doing a dance right now, and I'm into it. Okay, so Shoot the Rapids. This is what they did. Before the ride opened, they offered an exclusive ride night for the employees that were working at Cedar Point to test out the coaster before it opened, because basically they were looking for human guinea pigs to, like, soft open it and make sure the ride was, like, functioning. I distinctly remember it was a late and stormy night. That is important to note because it was downpouring and they did not cancel the ride night. Now, if this were during operating hours, so ride nights, okay, little backstory. Ride nights are when the amusement park, like, after park close, will keep one roller coaster open for like 2 hours after park close for the employees to be able to ride it ad infinitum. It's amazing. There's like no line. You're basically just walk on riding the same ride 2 hours in a row, and they pay the alas, Lachlan, thanks for joining in. And they pay the employees working on that coaster to, like, keep it operating for another 2 hours or so. And then they'll, like, do a rotating schedule. So this was the ride night for Shoot the Rapids. It was very highly anticipated. It was super high attendance because it was a new coaster, and we all wanted to test ride the new coaster before the public got to ride it, so we could all brag about how we got to test ride the coaster before the public could ride it, right? None of us cared about Shoot the Rapids. None of us wanted a water ride. Frankly, we were just doing it so we could add the credit to our list, right? So downpouring. It is like crazy torrential storm. There is thunder. There is lightning. Usually rides close when you see thunder and lightning, but they didn't care. They were like, determined to forge ahead because they had a schedule to keep, and they were trying to get this ride out and get people on it and make sure it's working so that they could open this coaster already months after its like scheduled open date. So I ride the ride, a bunch of other people ride the ride. It's basically a big hill with a splash like every other water ride. It's really nothing amazing. And there's people could like use little like water cannons to like spritz water at you, whatever. So I ride the ride, and I got this buddy, and I'm gonna dox him. His name is James. I got this buddy James, who for lack of a better phrase, he's got a lot to love. He's a bigger dude, right? James decided that he wanted to have some fun. So James thought it would be a killer idea to do everything in his power to capsize his boat. And he was at the back of the boat, okay? Here's the thing about that ride, everybody. We were already, like, so we're, like, in the boats, right? And then he is just everything in his power, like, just taking copious, just pushing the water as much into the back of the boat as he could. James succeeded. Here's the problem with James's success. Everyone is, like magnet locked into their seats. It's very important to note that, because like it was those like the pressure lock where you just like there's no over the shoulder, it's just the over the like the seat part, and you push it down and then it static locks. Like that is an immovable force. That's what keeps you protected when you're going 93 miles an hour down a hill, right? And James's aura simply could not be contained. And he was just while he was in his seat, like they were waiting at the lift hill. I can't remember if he had already completed the ride or if he was at the lift hill. So he capsizes himself. Here's the problem with capsizing himself. He was not alone on that boat. There was like 8 seats on the boat, right? It's like a lift train on a roller coaster. Everyone up to their necks in water now because he capsized the boat and it went down like a foot. And suddenly people are up to their necks, like gasping for water because they cannot move because their seat harnesses have locked them firmly in place. People are panicking. Like, it is suddenly scary. Very scary. And employees are panicking, and higher-ups with clipboards are like... And we're all just, like, in shock witnessing this transpiring. Like, we are straight up concerned that 8 people are about to drown right now. And it was like, time stopped. Now, there is still a thunderstorm, a torrential storm happening. Other trains are coming in. Others are, like, it's all chaos suddenly. It's an overpacked queue full of employees. Everyone's freaking out. People are splashing. And eventually, they were able to, like, you know, they pressed the right button. Team Rocket singing once again. They press the right button and it immediately like deploys all the locks. It was like the emergency release button. And people are just like clambering out, freaking out, gasping for air. It took months for them to open that ride again. And for the rest of the season, every single train, the back seats were closed. They had like X'd them off with caution tape. So I gave that hot gossip to a news reporter who I'm sure did nothing with it because it wasn't substantiated. I might as well have been the Dippin' Dots employee who heard from another guy who saw a thing, you know? That's my... I didn't have to sign any releases to the best of my knowledge, so... Yeah. Honestly, James is a legend. He was like... We, like, celebrated, like, we were grateful nobody got hurt, right? That was very important. Like, everyone was fine. But, like, we were like, James, your legacy will live on forever. And that ride ended up being gotten rid of, like, I don't know, like 3 years later or something. We called it Shoot the Budget because that ride cost them like $40 million or something, and nobody asked for it. So that is my, like, annual James Day. Yeah, that is my hot Cedar Point gossip that I personally witnessed. Like, that is my... It was incredible to behold. Yeah, I'm glad it didn't last long. Nobody asked for that ride. That ride being built at Cedar Point truly felt like the final nail in the coffin for, like, the coaster wars are over, boys. Pack them up. No one cares anymore about making amusement parks better to attract guests because now they're adding this crappy water ride, you know? Yeah, you go to Cedar Point for the coasters. Nobody goes to Cedar Point to ride the water rides. And that's why we called it Shoot the Budget. I would like to go back at some point if Top Thrill Dragster 2 reopens. I'm with you there. I'd like to see what it's like. I've heard it's not as cool, but like, I'm curious. I gotta know. I once wrote. I don't know if there's a paywall I could put behind this. I once wrote an incredibly cringy poem in my. Let me think for a moment. I think freshman year of high school about Top Thrill Dragster. It was called Adrenaline Dreams, and it was a poem about holding hands and kissing with somebody on the Top Thrill Dragster right before launch. That backward spike, it does look heavenly. Yeah. Right? But what if we kissed under the arms down, head back, and hold on. Arms down. Ding, 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 ding. They would always repeat that message 80 million times, and I heard it a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Arms down. Did it have Chuck Norris in it? Not that one. Although I do still have a diary entry that's all Chuck Norris Pokemon jokes. Sometimes I forget how cool I was, everybody. And then I think about that, and I realize, wow, I was amazing. You know, another audio that I'll even quote to Kyle, Tootie, is an audio that, like, Kyle didn't even work at Cedar Point. He's not even like a coaster junkie or anything. But like, I worked there the whole summer, and I would hear the same things all the time. And so what I heard, sorry, I got itchy nose. What I heard was the guessing game, and it was always the same thing. Easiest game in the park to play, easiest game to win. Let's all play the guessing game, the guessing game, the guessing game. And I'd hear it 300 times in a day. It was just someone on a PA saying it every now and then. And it was always the same thing. Easiest game in the park to play, easiest game to win. And then every time they said that second part, it always made me think of the Joker in The Dark Knight. Let's all play the guessing game, the guessing game, the guessing game. Oh, that's the stuff that haunts you at night, everybody. Once you have a monotonous job, you know. There are things I miss about it. There are things I miss about Cedar Point, man. I feel like this Mr. Mime is in the middle of dancing to Gangnam Style. That's what I feel about this Mr. Mime. I wonder what Mrs. Mime looks like. I'm a little afraid to know. I feel like if I were to Google Mrs. Mime, it would come up with really unsavory results I'm not ready for. Yeah, it was a fun summer, everybody. You were thinking Soulja Boy? Oh, yeah! Now you... Wow, that's a throwback. Ah, thanks for tuning in, Tootie. Brought back a lot of fun memories. Aw, happy to stream. After this, I'm Etch A Sketch and a Cockatiel, and then that will be that for today's stream. You danced to Soulja Boy 2 nights ago! Wow. I remember when that was popular. I think it was in my high school years. And I was way too uncool to dance to it. I did not want... I was afraid. I was afraid to ever do that dance because it felt too, like, the kids were way too popular for me to have the audacity to associate myself with doing that dance. You ever get that feeling when you're a kid? You're like, oh, nope, this one's not for me. Just like you go to the mall and you pass by Abercrombie and you're like, that store is decidedly not for me. I'll go to FYE instead and look at the Pokemon VHS tapes that I thought about buying last time I was here. I knew my place. I knew my place at the local mall, and it was decidedly not Hollister. I did go into a Hollister and or Abercrombie once just to see, because it's so secretive. It's so secretive. It's this cavernous entrance that's very shrouded in mystique, and you almost feel like there's going to be a bouncer at the door. But the same thing could be said for Hot Topic, and I liked going. They are built like nightclubs, aren't they? The same thing can be said for Hot Topic, because Hot Topic is very much like you're just enter into the album cover of insert death metal band. And I was fine with going into Hot Topic because I liked anime stuff, right? Yeah, walking into Hot Topic but feeling like a poser. I would never go into Hot Topic. Well, I was gonna say wearing a band shirt because I'd be afraid that my band knowledge would be, like, quizzed. But I never went into Hot Topic wearing a band tee. I did wear, like, Pokemon stuff. What a time, everybody. I like that every Mr. Mime comes with knee guards. Like, it comes with, like, little knee pads for the knees. It's so thoughtful, because they do look fragile and delicate. I feel like Mr. Mime could really benefit from shin guards, though. Like, that feels very precarious. Like, that would be, like, Mr. Mime's weak spot. I need knee pads just for life. Speaking of knee pads, when I worked at Cedar Point, I wrecked my knee something fierce, and to this day, I still kind of have some knee problems. Now it's like both of my knees. And then I think to myself, wow, was it really worth giving away my knees for this minimum wage job? No. That's how they get you, kids. That's how they get you. All right, I'm going to call... You know what? I'm going to fill out the dark spots here, and then we're going to draw that cockatiel, and then I got to wrap things up because we're getting to around 7 p.m. Almost done with this blessed image. Okay. We're calling it on this delightful sleuth. I think it's fair to call Mr. Mime a sleuth. He looks sleuthy. There's an adjective that I don't think exists. Sleuthy. Okay. Do we still have Lachlan here? Wait, did Lachlan have to go? Oh, he'll rewatch the live later, so he'll see the cockatiel. Okay, I'm grabbing an Etch A Sketch for the cockatiel. We're gonna say goodbye to the Mark I version of Zubat. This was the Zubat before the Zubat we know today. This was like, I forgot that I drew him too low, so then I redrew him. I kind of like him without the dark background. Okay. I need to fart, so I apologize for that. You probably didn't even hear it. I don't know why I always announce my farts. It's like I feel like I'm doing everyone a solid or a gas. But no. Okay. I'm going to draw... Yes, the rough draft. I'm going to do... You love a fart announcement? The world could benefit from more of those. Dude, yesterday, Kyle and I made chicken tikka masala. I do not understand what the chemical components of my farts were last night, but they were stinky. Every single one of them. They were bad, everyone. They were rotten egg bad. And every time I would SBD, yeah. I would SBD and then immediately apologize profusely to Kyle. And he would know. He would just know. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey. I love you, but like something is wrong with me right now. Yeah. Silent, but yeah. SBS. Yeah. Very, very S. Very S, Serena. Alright, let me grab a cockatiel. Let's see. That's not how that works. There we go. This makes me think of that one cockatiel I see on TikTok sometimes that plays the Lost Forest theme from, Zelda. I don't want to whistle because I feel like it will destroy everyone's ears. There we go. I had to pull up the image. It took a couple. Alright, we are going to switch just to this screen. This matches the cockatiel I'm about to draw, so that's kind of cool. Okay. Starting up here. I love drawing birds. As a young child, I still love drawing birds. Oh, there's a video about Silent but Smelly. Like a tornado warning. Yeah, hurricanes are coming. I'm nothing if not ladylike, everyone. This Barbie farts. Okay. Oh, the video of the cockatiel. Boy, I'm on the wrong page today. Here we go, cockatiel. I'll do a 5-minute cockatiel. How about that? But first, let's zoom in a little bit. It's a very cute cockatiel. Alright. Alright, we got a good eyeball here. And... Alright, I made it too big. The constant problem I have with drawing on an Etch A Sketch. I make things too big. Thank you, Pen. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Alright, we got like the first set of the wing down. It's not the end of the wing, it's just the end of the part of the wing, and this is where I drew it too big. My bird is too big. I am a banana. I'm just full of random internet references today. The little head fuzzies. And it's on like a stick. Not just a stick, but like a really good one. You just know this cockatiel is thrilled about its perch. Oh, yeah. Well, Lachlan, for when you watch this later, when you see this video, I'm gonna be mean here. Sorry, Lachlan. But if you pass the test, then you pass the vibe check. Hear me out, Lachlan. If you're watching this video, if you get to this point of the video, this is how I'm gonna know that you watched it. The secret passcode is cockatiels like nice perches. That's how I'm gonna know that you watched your request video. So next time I see you on stream, just say cockatiels like nice perches, and then we'll all know. But chat, if you see Lachlan again, and Lachlan didn't say it, we know that Lachlan never watched their free drawing being made. Poor Lachlan is up. I'm forcing Lachlan into a test that they didn't even consent to. Just finishing up this branch here. There we go. Yeah, it's a good stick. If there were a dog around, it would want to pick it up. It's that kind of a good stick. Alright. I hope this cockatiel reminds Lachlan of a cockatiel in their life that makes them happy. I want to pick up the stick too. It looks like maybe like a partial boomerang stick. Like it'll actually come back a little bit if you throw it. Oh, those are always good sticks, right? All right, everybody. Love this little guy. Oh yeah, he's just a little guy. He's just a little fella. Flipping the camera around, saying some final words. The phone ring in Pokemon, yes. Ring, 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 phone call, ring, 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 phone call. That was ever so briefly my ringtone on an old cell phone of mine. Right, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you had a fun time. I always enjoy the time I get to spend with all of you. I had some fun creating this. Oh, you can't see it because you can't see it because I turned off that camera. There you go. This bussin' Mr. Mime. And I'm afraid to hold up the Zubat up there. But the Zubat is done and the cockatiel, which you all saw. So thank you again for tuning in. That's the real Rizzler. I am going to go and figure out some din-din, and I know my stream schedule is kind of unestablished as of today, so I don't know what the future this week is going to look like. It's a little bit dicey for a couple reasons, but I will endeavor to come back. Thank you so much to the lovely donors of this stream today. Thank you to Michael for the wonderful gift that was sent, as well as Michael, Fumblebump, Frida, and Brandon. So thank you again for all the lovely... Ooh, I see that the Laughing Disco now shows in the fan funding tab. I don't know if it used to do that before, so I'm appreciative of that. So, all right, take care, enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you happen to be in the world, and as always, each and every one of you could be on the internet, it's the World Wide Web. After all, you've chosen to spend this time with me, which I never want to take for granted, so thank you very much. Yay! All right, Brandon the Billionaire. That's what the B in Brandon stands for. The R also stands for billionaire, which is really strange, but we don't question it. All right, everybody. Peace out. Bye.